should have been throwing down more barracks. So I'm flying this barracks over because I went ground now. The Banshees I just used for harassment. I'm gonna probably come back in here and see if I can do some more damage. He still doesn't have turrets up. He's just getting to build them right now, so I'm gonna snipe that mule off and do as much damage as I can. And that turret, I should have probably sniped that SCV before that turret finished, but I'm just gonna back out now. So I have quite a sizable ground army right now. So what I was gonna do is float this barracks over and land it here, so I have a quick way to reinforce, just replenish some of these ground troops that I'm gonna lose, because the rush distance is quite long. So anyways, my friend Inferno here actually gave me a hint instead of giving Reaper a hint. So he reminded me that I'm falling behind on my macro, so I decided to go ahead and grab this expansion right here, since I know that Reaper is basically trapped in his base right now. Because another thing that's good with harassment is that it puts your opponent on a defensive mindset. I mean, that's what happens to me. I don't know if it happened to you guys, but I feel that most players, once they get harassed by their mineral line, they try to play more defensively. They'll like stay turtle in their base. This is especially the case with Terran. Terran love turtling, and harassing that mineral line right there will just making me more scared. So they'll turtle even harder, which is sometimes it's bad because if they tech up to battle cruisers in their base and they slowly push out, it's kind of hard to stop that. But if they're just turtling with one base play, it's very easy to stop. Well, anyways, initially I was not going to research siege mode. I was just going to rush in there and finish it off, but since he did have these 2 siege tanks placed here, which is a very, very good placement on these siege tanks, since both their range covers this entire choke point right here, and for me to get up to his base, either I'd have to go around, which at this point would take me too long, or I'd have to run past, stim and run past, which I would still lose a lot of troops to these. And with this wall off, these tanks would just shred all my forces as they would try to get up this choke. So anyways, I decided to research siege mode right now. So that's crunking away at the tech lab on the factory. And I built some more barracks. I'm building some more since, I have all these minerals and I want to try to use them as much as I can. And if you notice, have all my barracks rally to this one point right here, so I can reinforce as quickly as possible. Even though it'll take a while, as you can see, each of these units run to the rally point one by one, but it builds up over time. So I kind of have a surround on his base to make sure he doesn't push out from this end, and I have these Banshees here to scout if he does move out from this end. So I'm pretty much safe in my base right now, unless he goes air, and I know he really didn't have any air units, except for this one starport, which had a reactor, so I know it's just pumping Vikings or medevacs. So anyways, I kind of missed it right here. Just backtrack. Alright, so sorry about that. Alright, so I noticed that he had these tanks here, so it would have been really hard for me to move up, within this choke. So as soon as my siege mode researched, brought this tank over, sieged it, and I scanned the high ground and just did some damage to all these Marines, and it'll do a lot of damage. And it also forced them to watch out for this point right here. So Reaper had to move one of his tanks right here, which is what actually I was hoping to snipe out some, both these tanks while they were coming up here. But I mean, it made him move his tanks, and that actually helps me because now I have less to worry about. And scan the high ground again to snipe these 2 tanks out because they do tons of damage. And since I have to break through this wall right here, it's gonna be I don't want these 2 tanks blown away at me. So he does have a Thor out right now. Just one Thor. He could probably be making some more Marines, another Thor, or not Thor, he's Shank. But he's just making Vikings, which I mean that's like a result of the Banshee harassment. He just felt that I would go more Banshees, so he decided to make some Vikings to counter that. But the Banshees were just there for harassment. So again, misinformation is great for StarCraft. So I'm just pushing out. I broke the wall through, and basically right now it's game over. Reaper has no units. He kind of some things that happened wrong with this game is that he fell behind on his macro. So you know, and another thing that he did was he just made mass Vikings, which was a really bad way to go. Even if you're facing against Banshees, one or two Vikings is great. They'll push the Banshees away and stop you from harassing, the mineral lines. But just going mass Vikings, it's not smart against, Banshees, since most of the time people don't mass Banshees, especially in 1 versus 1. They usually tend to mass like cheap units like Marines and Marauders, which is what I did with tanks thrown in the mix right there. So that's one mistake he made. He got way too many Vikings. And another mistake he made was that he fell behind on his macro. He didn't make enough harvesters because, at the end of the game you can see 40 to 17. And he didn't expand when he had so many minerals in the bank. And he didn't make any more barracks or factories because all these resources are just going to waste. Sure, he's low on gas, so he can't make as many doors and tanks as he'd like. But he could easily throw down another 2 barracks, put reactors on them, and just pump out Marines, because even they're deadly with shields and stim. Some things that I did wrong personally are, again, I also fell behind on my macro, but luckily Reaper fell behind more, and I expanded a little bit late, and I didn't morph this into a orbital command, which is always what you want to do. You either want to, if your naturals out in the open, you should, you can try morphing into a planetary fortress, but most of the time, the orbital command is the way to go, and you want to get that as soon as you make a command center, so the energy accumulates and you can use the mules as fast as you can. Some other mistakes I made is that I got supply blocked a lot this game, which that happens to me a lot as Terran, not so much as Zerg and Protoss, since I forget to make those supply depots. I actually use a supply drop right here because I was supply blocked while I was pushing out, and I wanted to make sure I have reinforcements for my army. So personally, I don't I was good on the minerals. I was kind of falling behind my macro, so I thought using the supply drop was a good move, and sometimes it is. Most of the times you want to use mules, but if you're supply block, don't be afraid to use your supply drop. It does help. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and if you're from overclock.net, don't make fun of me for my casting skills. I will burn your graphics card up. Anyways, alright, hope you guys enjoyed the game.